Now, if that probably rings a bell for you, I know it does for me, and it's no problem. It's not a problem. We have developed that over time. We learned how to do that as children, and we just never have gone back to repair it. So many of us are actually saying things that even we don't believe. What? How crazy is that? That's like beyond a lie. That's not even a lie anymore.
Yeah. Lying to yourself.
Whatever that means.
Yeah.
Right? What does that mean? You're both characters? You're the liar and the receiver of your lie? What is that?
Yeah.
We say things that we don't even believe when we're saying it. Why do we do that? Big 4-letter word starting with F called fear. You know, we're afraid that we're going to be disowned. We're going to be thrown off the island. We're going to be disrespected. We're going to be dismissed. We're going to be, we're going to be disruptive. We're going to cause more damage, that we're going to be misunderstood, or that we're going to be hurt some way for our actual vulnerable, delicate, tender experiences that we might share. So we don't do it. We don't talk when we should, and we don't not talk when we should, and we don't declare and be honest with ourselves. So the other book I wrote is Find Your True Voice, and Find Your True Voice is a way to incrementally take steps to speaking your own truth in the people that matter to you, especially starting with your inner circle. That book takes podcasting, by the way, as the primary template for learning how to communicate. Through hosting and guesting and listening, those 3 positions, you get access to a form of communication that is entirely the purest form of communication presently available on earth, is in this world of podcasting. As it turns out, really, we get to speak to as many people who are willing to turn on your show, right? That's who we get to access today. And you get to own the product. So you will not be canceled tomorrow. You will not be censored tomorrow. This is unlike many of the things that are, of course, on our social media, where you can have your whole account canceled in a second because someone decided you said or did the wrong thing. That's not the case. And in the open discourse, we get to share honestly and unobtrusively, without hurdle, that which we really care about and that's which we want to communicate with each other. And we also get to practice the amazing skill of listening, which is really, really informs how communication goes. If you listen, and this is another form of what else can you do to assist yourself? Really listening for what either the other person is saying or wanting or desiring, right? Even if they're not speaking at that present time, it's even the unspoken note communication, or listening for the circumstances and how to move that needle forward. How do you move the needle forward? Because speaking a true voice is not going to the top of the mountains and saying how much you hate your mother-in-law. That's not it. That's not like just spouting off something that's on your chest in order to relieve yourself of the anxiety you have by not speaking. Not that. The purpose of speaking is to speak into the listening that's there and actually share so that you can move the greater needle forward, so that you can progress a conversation. When you start doing all these things and taking care of your sleep, for instance, being careful not to have that darn screen in front of you to the very last second before you go to sleep.